After a long silence, the three-tailed demon fox was the first to speak. Spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, it's been many years. It's time for a change in power. You are walking towards destruction, the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain said, shaking its head as if it had foreseen this moment long ago. Destruction or rebirth, it's not something one can decide for themselves, the three-tailed demon fox replied. It seems there's something inside you, the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain remarked without further comment. This thing, the three-tailed demon fox, half human and half beast, let out a menacing grin. With a sudden grab beneath its pure white fur, it slowly pulled out a blood-red pearl embedded in its flesh. This is the life-devouring pearl? In the next instant, disbelief washed over the faces of the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, the five-element beast, and the two death beasts. Has this creature gone mad? The heaven-eyed giant beast was inwardly shocked. It had long heard of the life-devouring pearl, said to be a sinister dose skill. Once cultivated, the practitioner forms a blood-red pearl inside their body that absorbs essence blood and magic cores. If the flow of these resources were ever interrupted, the practitioner would face immediate backlash and die. What is that? Mu Yingying glanced at the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, noticing a flicker of concern in its eyes. Meanwhile, patches of the three-tailed demon fox's white fur were forcibly torn off, revealing the evil life-devouring pearl flashing from within its flesh. It's a type of Do skill, Qin Xin, experienced and knowledgeable, explained. That Do skill is a vile practice. It involves devouring others' lives to enhance one's own power. It's strictly forbidden in our mystic three heavens, Qin Xin added softly. Something is coming. Mu Yingying suddenly grew alert, her gaze fixed on the base of Boundless Mountain where they had previously passed. Roar, roar, hiss. The air filled with deafening, chaotic sounds, shaking everyone to their core. But one thing was clear. These death beasts had blood-red eyes, as if they had lost all autonomy and were being controlled. Beasts of the dead, return to me. The three-tailed demon fox raised its arm and called out across the entire falling Spirit Mountain. Immediately, powerful death beasts began to appear from all directions. Three-armed heavenly ape, emerald bamboo segment snake, earth tiger. Xiaoyan's voice rang out, naming each familiar creature. You've even taken control of the death beasts of falling Spirit Mountain. Monster! The spirit of falling Spirit Mountain cursed, unable to contain its anger. To the spirit, these death beasts were akin to its children, and now they were being manipulated by the three-tailed demon fox. I'm helping them. The three-tailed demon fox suddenly laughed maniacally. Die! The spirit of falling Spirit Mountain shouted in fury, raising its hand. A terrifying beam of energy, infused with the power of life and death, formed in its palm and shot towards the three-tailed demon fox. Too late. The three-tailed demon fox roared, "Stop her!" As soon as the words left its mouth, the blood-red pearl behind it erupted in a dazzling crimson light, empowering all the death beasts under its control. Boom, boom, boom. The spirit of falling Spirit Mountain's attack was about to strike, but hordes of death beasts threw themselves in its path, sacrificing themselves as they were obliterated into blood mist by the deadly force. With each beast's sacrifice, the energy of life and death thinned out, and by the time it reached the three-tailed demon fox, the fox casually blew it away. Return, the three-tailed demon fox commanded. The blood-red pearl swelled, and the crazed death beasts began hurling themselves toward it. We can't let this creature succeed, or falling Spirit Mountain will be devoid of all beasts. The heaven-eyed giant beast and the five-element beast exchanged a knowing glance, realizing the gravity of the situation. Break! The two unleashed powerful techniques, instantly freeing the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain from the suppression. The two enormous beasts then launched themselves into the air, attacking the three-tailed demon fox with all their might. I, as the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, plead to all beings. Destroy! The spirit intoned, its body glowing with a brilliant white light as it invoked an ancient power. Why isn't it working? In just a few breaths, the surroundings remained unchanged, and a trace of panic appeared on the spirit's face. Ha ha ha. Spirit of falling spirit mountain. This time you've miscalculated, the three-tailed demon fox sneered. Every death beast on this mountain has already been tampered with by me. Now, just sit back and watch my grand spectacle. The three-tailed demon fox surrounded itself with a powerful light shield, wary of the other's potential combined attack. Boom, boom, boom. From every direction, death beasts hurled themselves toward the blood-red pearl, their strength adding to the three-tailed demon fox with each sacrifice. With more and more beasts joining the fray, the three-tailed demon fox's power grew exponentially. This can't go on. There's only one way left. The spirit of falling spirit mountain glanced wistfully toward boundless mountain, then firmed its resolve. Three-tailed demon fox, your actions will eventually bring down divine retribution, the spirit warned softly. Divine retribution? The three-tailed demon fox laughed disdainfully. I am the king. Why don't you just hand over control of falling spirit mountain to me? The three-tailed demon fox said, all the while absorbing the power of the death beast. Haven't you always wanted control of falling spirit mountain? Let me show you what true control over falling spirit mountain really means. The spirit of falling spirit mountain replied with a slight smile. She then removed her pristine robe, revealing flawless skin, as soft as silk and seemingly untouched by the world. Her perfect figure was enough to drive countless men wild. But what stood out the most was a radiant white light pulsing at her chest, almost like a living entity, beating slowly like a heart. That's all the power of falling spirit mountain. If I could seize that power, I would truly gain control over the mountain. Then, I could finally escape this cursed place. The three-tailed demon fox said, her voice dripping with greed. You want it? Then take it. The spirit of falling spirit mountain smiled and began walking slowly toward the three-tailed demon fox. As the spirit of falling spirit mountain approached, a sudden sense of fear gripped the three-tailed demon fox. Her heart raced. Damn it! Stay away! The three-tailed demon fox cried out in panic. The closer the brilliant light from the spirit's chest came, the greater the pressure she felt. It was clear that the spirit was using her connection to falling spirit mountain to try to kill the three-tailed demon fox. Even though the three-tailed demon fox had become a hybrid of human and beast by devouring a human, the overwhelming power of the mountain still filled her with awe. This radiant power was unlike the force of life and death she had encountered before. It was the essence of falling spirit mountain itself, a force difficult for even her to contend with. You shall perish naturally, said the spirit of falling spirit mountain softly, her body dissolving into the purest energy, flashing with a dazzling light. The spirit of falling spirit mountain had no true form. The womanly figure she had taken was merely one of her many manifestations. Trying to take me down with you? Spirit of falling spirit mountain, you are dreaming. The three-tailed demon fox laughed coldly. As she spoke, a blood-colored orb, hidden beneath her fur, suddenly unleashed an unstoppable force. Though the spirit's power was terrifying, the three-tailed demon fox had grown stronger by consuming countless death beasts. Master, called the night cat urgently. By this time, the spirit of falling spirit mountain had transformed into a brilliant explosion of light and was crashing straight toward the three-tailed demon fox. Ignoring the night cat, the three-tailed demon fox raised the blood-colored orb, unleashing an equally massive surge of power to meet the oncoming attack. Boom, boom, boom. Waves of destructive energy radiated outward. The death beasts that had been consumed by the blood orb stopped in their tracks, their eyes turning red as they fixated on the sky, where the explosion had just taken place. The spirit of falling spirit mountain must have realized something strange about the three-tailed demon fox. That's why she chose to self-destruct. If she hadn't, the fox would have absorbed more death beasts, leading to the downfall of the mountain itself. The heaven-eyed giant beast, with its many eyes, quickly discerned the spirit's intent. Something seems to be stirring inside me. Meanwhile, Xiao Yin, still awestruck by the battle between the three-tailed demon fox and the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, felt an unusual sensation within him. In the sea of Doqi, his heart rock began to stir, as though it were on the verge of bursting out. Xiao, this time, you can't blame me, said the heart rock, before sealing itself off. Even Xiao didn't notice that, hidden in an unremarkable corner of his storage ring, a familiar figure had quietly appeared. Oh, it's been a while. This kid's power. Late 6-star Do Di? Sacred Flame? This sacred flame is intriguing, but if you think you can harm my people, you are mistaken. With these words, the voice fell silent once more. However, if anyone had been paying attention, they would have sensed the overwhelming power in that moment, far beyond that of an ordinary Do Di. What's wrong? Mu Yingying asked, her delicate brows furrowed as she stared at Xiao. For some reason, a terrifying force had just erupted from Xiao's body. Though it had lasted only a brief moment, Mu Yingying had caught it, something that even the masters of the incense pavilion might not have noticed. It's nothing, Xiao replied softly, his eyes returning to the battle in the sky. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying explosions had finally subsided, leaving the three-tailed demon fox looking utterly battered. Spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, this time, I win. She laughed arrogantly, her voice echoing across boundless mountain. What happened to the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain? Someone asked as the dust from the massive explosion settled, revealing no trace of the spirit. The three-tailed demon fox was covered in blood. The blood orb she wielded had lost its brilliance, and one of her 3 tails had fallen off, leaving her with only 2. Spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, you were strong, but you forgot. I am the three-tailed demon fox. I was never going to perish alongside you. She sneered. As for the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, it had vanished without a trace. Whether it had died alongside the three-tailed demon fox or simply exhausted its power and gone into hibernation, no one could say. Damn it, that creature! The heaven-eyed giant beast growled, its many eyes glinting coldly. 5-element beast, to me. Ha, heaven-eyed giant beast, look at the mess you two have caused. Now. The 5-element beast snorted coldly, clearly displeased. There's no time. We must act now. The spirit of the falling Spirit Mountain has vanished. If the three-tailed demon fox regains its strength, it'll be our turn to fall next. The heaven-eyed giant beast warned, its voice filled with caution. Attack. Though furious, the 5-element beast knew the severity of the situation. It charged forward, trying to ram the 2-tailed demon fox with its tough body. Ha, even the 2 of you are afraid now? The 2-tailed demon fox, now reduced to just 2 tails, sneered with disdain. Although it had expended a lot of power to block the spirit of the falling Spirit Mountain's self-destruction, losing one of its lives in the process, the 2-tailed demon fox remained unfazed. After all, it now considered itself the true master of the falling Spirit Mountain. Come on. The 2-tailed demon fox suddenly said with a strange tone. The blood-red orb in its hand flashed again, exuding a strong bloody aura. A sinister energy radiated from it. Whoosh, whoosh. As soon as the words left the 2-tailed demon fox's mouth, countless death beasts from all directions rushed towards the blood-red orb in its hand. Each time a death beast entered the orb, the blood-red orb emitted an even sharper and more menacing aura. 5-element body clash. The 5-element beast roared toward the sky, and 5-colored energy surged from its body. The 5-colored energy rapidly converged on its shell. Without hesitation, the 5-element beast charged forward. Boom, boom, boom. As the terrifying impact hit, the 2-tailed demon fox effortlessly blocked the seemingly powerful attack from the 5-element beast using the blood-red orb in its hand. Watch out! Confused by the failed attack, the 5-element beast had no time to react before the heaven-eyed giant beast shouted. Boom, boom, boom. The heaven-eyed giant beast's voice echoed, and the 2-tailed demon fox's body suddenly shifted. The blood-red orb in its hand shot towards the 5-element beast. Arrogant. Understanding the situation, The five-element beast's eyes flashed with violent intent as it fearlessly faced the incoming blood-red orb. Five-element beast, fall back, the heaven-eye giant beast growled. This thing can't be messed with. But the five-element beast, a ruler of its own territory, would never back down so easily. Boom, boom, boom. The blood-red orb, filled with immense destructive power, began to erode the five-element beast's energy and life force the moment it made contact. Five elements. Earth. The five-element beast roared again, and in an instant, its shell erupted with a blinding golden light. The golden light enveloped the five-element beast's shell, making it seem invincible. You think this can stop my attack? I am the true master of Falling Spirit Mountain now, the two-tailed demon fox cackled. Falling Spirit Mountain's power. A terrifying force surged from the two-tailed demon fox, accompanied by a sinister laugh. Damn it, that fox is trying to use the spirit of the Falling Spirit Mountain's power to break through this space and invade the human world. The heaven-eye giant beast thought, watching as the five-element beast struggled to defend itself against the two-tailed demon fox. Single eye. The heaven-eye giant beast quickly closed all of its many eyes, leaving only one massive, dark red eye open, radiating an eerie, mysterious power. Five-element beast, retreat and let me handle this. The heaven-eye giant beast shouted, its enormous body surging towards the two-tailed demon fox. As the heaven-eye giant beast prepared for its attack, something strange happened. It seemed that the heaven-eye giant beast now had only one eye. It looks like the heaven-eye giant beast is ready to risk it all, the five-element beast thought to itself. Known for its countless eyes, the heaven-eye giant beast's gaze was feared by all, as it could destroy souls with a glance. However, few knew that when all its eyes closed, leaving only one, that was when it became truly terrifying. You will all die. The two-tailed demon fox, blood-soaked and desperate, lashed out at the two beasts. Even though it had lost one of its lives in the earlier battle, the fox still had two lives left. However, it was greatly weakened from the spirit of the Falling Spirit Mountain's self-destruction. Despite its bluster, the fox was merely putting on a front for the heaven-eye giant beast and the five-element beast, and it hadn't expected them to fall for it. Just as the two-tailed demon fox hesitated, the heaven-eye giant beast's deadly strike came rushing toward it. But strangely, the lethal blow did not hit the two-tailed demon fox. What's going on? The two-tailed demon fox snapped out of its shock, realizing something was terribly wrong. The seductive figure of Night Cat was instantly pierced by the death ray of the heaven-eye giant beast. In just a fleeting moment, her vitality began to drain rapidly. Night. The two-tailed demon fox choked, her words stuck in her throat. Scenes that seemed all too familiar flashed through her mind. Born in Falling Spirit Mountain, bullied and nearly killed by other death beasts. Fortunately, she encountered the young Night Cat, who, for reasons unknown, saved her and continuously helped her grow stronger without ever leaving her side. It could be said that the three-tailed demon fox never trusted anyone else, but Night Cat was an exception. Back then, after being saved by Night Cat, the three-tailed demon fox told her about the wonders of the human world. Night Cat believed her without hesitation, and though sly by nature, Night Cat had played a crucial role in the fox's life. No. A heart-wrenching cry erupted from the two-tailed demon fox. How could this be? The heaven-eye giant beast, seeing the scene unfold, also weakened. The sheer energy spent on that ultimate attack had drained much of its strength, and it now found itself struggling. What should we do now? Asked the five-element beast in a panic. Just wait and see, the heaven-eye giant beast responded, glancing helplessly at the five-element beast. As formidable as the five-element beast's defense was, its offensive abilities were nearly non-existent. Night Cat, what's wrong? Didn't you promise me we'd see the flowers and trees of the human world together? How could you leave me like this? The two-tailed demon fox clung to Night Cat, but Night Cat's life force was rapidly draining from the wound that was all too obvious. Cough, cough. Fox, don't cry. From the moment I met you, I knew this day would come, sooner or later. Promise me, live on, with my hopes as well. Night Cat said softly. Night Cat, I've been so focused these past years on getting you to the human world for a happy life that I've neglected you. I'm sorry. The two-tailed demon fox, in a rare moment of sincerity, expressed her deepest regret. There's no need to say more. I've always known. I just can't stay with you any longer. Cough, cough. Fox, you must live on. With those last words, Night Cat's body shattered, disappearing into countless fragments on the peak of Boundless Mountain. Struck by the heaven-eyed giant beast's ultimate blow, it was a miracle Night Cat had lasted as long as she did, which only spoke to her immense strength. Heaven-eyed giant beast. This time, you must die. In the next moment, the enraged two-tailed demon fox erupted with fury, her body surging with murderous intent. The five-element beast and the heaven-eyed giant beast trembled at her words. Just from her tone, they could tell that this battle would likely end in death. Haha, things are getting heated. How about listening to my suggestion? At that critical moment, a man wreathed in flames appeared, a dangerous smile tugging at the corners of his lips as he slowly approached the three. As this flame-covered man approached, Xiao felt as if something had been taken from him. However, seeing this figure, Xiao wasn't surprised. So, you've finally decided to make your move? Xiao also smiled slowly. Heart Rock, you have your schemes, but don't I have mine? Who are you? The heaven-eyed giant beast frowned. This fiery figure exuded an aura even stronger than that of the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain, whose strength was already at the level of a 9-star Do-D. If this person was even stronger, step aside. The two-tailed demon fox, on the brink of an emotional outburst, had no time to care about the fiery figure, glaring murderously at the heaven-eyed giant beast. How about you submit to me, and I'll take you to the human world, the flame-cloaked figure said with a faint smile. As soon as the words left his mouth, the three became silent, their gazes locked on him. Is this the spirit of the sacred flame inside you? Mu Yingying, standing to the side, was evidently surprised that this figure had taken the initiative to act. From the moment it left the sacred flame crystal, it was nothing more than an enemy wielding a trace of sacred flame power, Xiao said with a slow smile. Ever since Mu Yingying had mentioned it, Xiao had been keeping a close watch, trying to force this entity out, but to no avail. After all, it had been hiding within him. Yet, just when Xiao was at his wit's end, Heart Rock revealed his plan to subdue the two-tailed demon fox, the heaven-eyed giant beast, and the five-element beast, finally leaving Xiao body. This is the spirit of the sacred flame. Dan Yao's pupils shrank at the sight, overwhelmed with awe. The spirit of the sacred flame was a legendary existence. To witness it now was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And who are you? The five-element beast, still unaware of the full situation, scoffed. Move aside. He killed the one closest to me. I must avenge her, the two-tailed demon fox growled, her hand glowing with a sinister energy emanating from the blood-red pearl. You all take me too lightly. Heart Rock snorted, and with a flick of his hand, an earthen-colored flame surged forth, entangling the three figures. Though the two-tailed demon fox and the others were formidable in their own right, Heart Rock, as the genuine spirit of the sacred flame, could easily subdue them. Sacred flame? The two-tailed demon fox froze, instantly growing alarmed, her expression shifting to one of panic. The aura emanating from this man felt as though he could obliterate her with a mere gesture. Who exactly are you? Who I am doesn't matter. What matters is... Heart Rock, Xian laughed. However, before he could finish, his mouth suddenly expanded 100-fold, transforming into a vast void that instantly swallowed the three others whole. Cough, cough, cough. The strength of these three is truly delicious, Heart Rock remarked, still savoring the aftertaste. This is bad. We can't let him consume the five-element beast. We still need the thing it carries for our contest. Xiao shouted urgently. Let's go. Upon hearing this, Qingxin and Mu Yingying exchanged glances, then swiftly took action. You can't just swallow those three. Spit them out. Xiao Yin demanded sternly, arriving first by Heart Rock's side. And what if I refuse? Heart Rock now dropped all pretenses, a haughty arrogance edging his voice. So it's true, Xiao Yin replied calmly, showing no surprise. You knew all along? Heart Rock asked, curiosity piqued. How did Xiao Yin discern his seemingly flawless deception? The moment you claimed your former master was my ancestor Xiao Mu, I began to doubt you, Xiao Yin explained. Combined with your subtle probing and reveals afterward, I became sure. But the most significant clue was my flame mantra, he continued. According to my cultivation and the records of the flame mantra, it should evolve after absorbing powerful flames. Yet, after devouring the Fireheart Heavenly Rock, the progression fell short of expectations. Perhaps you tampered with it? All right, since you're about to die anyway, allow me to be benevolent and enlighten you, Heart Rock said smugly. The sacred flame is, without exception, the strongest fire attribute relic in existence. But because I meddled with your Fireheart Heavenly Rock, you cannot unleash its true power. If not for that, even at your stage as a late 6-star Do D, you could easily contend with a 7-star Do D solely with the power of the sacred flame. I'm curious, why didn't you seize my body right from the start? Why wait until now? Xiao Yin countered, this question having long puzzled him. If Heart Rock had ulterior motives, why delay until now? He could have acted then when Xiao Yin was absorbing the sacred flame. An optimal time. I couldn't back then. The former Master Yin was still around. His presence alone prevented any action. Even a hint of discontent from me would have meant becoming part of the sacred flame myself. Heart Rock shrugged indifferently. Over time, within this space, the 5-element beast and the Heaven-Eye Giant Beast would inevitably become part of his power. Besides, I needed to restore my strength first. Only then could I fully harness the sacred flame. Because the sacred flame and I are one. I become the sacred flame once my strength is restored, he said, his eyes burning with intensity. You might be underestimating the situation, Xiao Yin chuckled, sensing Heart Rock's misconception. At first, Heart Rock was confused by Xiao Yan's laughter, but realization dawned moments later. Boom, boom, boom. A terrifying explosion erupted as spatial ripples appeared before Heart Rock and Xiao Yin. Two familiar figures emerged, those of the 5-element beast and the 2-tailed demon fox, minus the Heaven-Eye Giant Beast. Impossible, Heart Rock muttered in disbelief. On closer inspection, one would notice the 2-tailed demon fox now had only one tail, and the colossal shell of the 5-element beast bore signs of tumult. The escape clearly cost them dearly, their last resort to break free. As for the Heaven-Eye Giant Beast, it seemed it couldn't elude its devoured fate. Heart Rock, return now. I need the true sacred flame. So, with your death, let the Fireheart Heavenly Rock be restored. Xiao Yan's eyes glimmered with determination. Those two truly thwarted me. Heart Rock shook his head. Devouring them would have significantly bolstered his power restoration. In that case, let's battle, Heart Rock declared without hesitation. If you lose, everything of yours will become mine. Bring it on.